Hola hermanitos, ¿cómo andan loquitos locos?
Así que nada, muchachos. Estoy acá arriba del avión que me parece que se está por caer a pedazos. Papá, qué miedo que tengo.
For me, football is a whole other level of sport. There's no other sport in the world that can cause wars or bring people together more than football. Football fans are a whole other animal as well. The energy that comes with a football fan is insane. Get them all together in a stadium and it'll blow the roof off. I didn't know who Emiliano Sala was, but in researching this, I've learned that he was very much loved by his fans and fans of football. Born on Halloween 1990, Emiliano Sala was gifted from a young age for football. Playing for the club San Martín de Perculeso as a youth player, it wasn't long before he was snatched up by a scout. In his debut season for Proyecto Crecer as a youth player, he was benched and didn't play that season. Frustrated, he decided to switch to Bordeaux in hope for a better field time. During that time at Bordeaux, he was loaned to several other clubs to play. He blew up and became one of the more prominent players in the pitch, soon committing to Nantes, a French football club, for a 5-year contract. He absolutely flourished there, earning Player of the Month in February of 2015 and 18. During that time, he was the top scorer for the club. Emiliano's goal, like most footballers, was to enter the Premier League. He dreamt of it since childhood. Feeling that he couldn't do that at his current club, the decision was made to move to Cardiff City in Wales. That move was a 3.5-year deal with a record-breaking transfer fee of £15 million. Emiliano was one step closer to his dream, the Premier League. As part of the transfer, Emiliano was to head to Cardiff to get to a medical exam. From there, he was to return to Nantes until January 21st, his first day on the pitch with his new club. The day was cold and icy. Security footage shows Emiliano and his pilot, David Hypson, going through checks at security at the airport. This is the last video of the striker live. While Emiliano waited, the pilot prepared the plane for the air, and he did a once-over. David sent a short video and message to some friends.
I picked a footballer up from Cardiff. He's been bought from Nantes. I think it's about £20 million worth or something. They've entrusted me to pick him up in a dodgy garage. Normally have my life jacket in between my seats, but tomorrow we're wearing my life jacket, that's for sure. This aircraft, I think it's got to go back in the hangar. Might be your last chance to have a good old chat with me in a good old boat tomorrow.
On top of a sketchy plane, David was only an amateur pilot. He didn't only not have a license to fly at night, he didn't have a license to fly with passengers. Mr. Ibbotson had previously been banned from flying this type of aircraft due to prior incidents. David was hired by a man called Mr. Henderson, who was the original pilot. He knowingly knew that David didn't have the proper licensing and hired him anyway despite that. He was charged with endangering the safety of an aircraft. He was found guilty on October 28, 2021. When the plane was ready to go, Emiliano boarded it. The plane must have been completely tore up because Emiliano also sent a message to his friends and family via WhatsApp.
Estoy acá arriba del avión que me parece que se está por caer a pedazos. Y me estoy yendo para Cardiff, loco, que no sé si van a mandar a alguien a buscarme porque no me van a encontrar, pero ya saben. Papá, qué miedo que tengo.
Hola a todos, soy Emiliano Sala, hermana de Emiliano. Le pido por favor a todos que ya sea con un tweet, con un estado, con una foto, me ayuden a no parar con la búsqueda. Tenemos que encontrarlo. Pongamos fuerza, por favor, ayúdenme. Él está vivo. Se lo pido por favor que me ayude.
Football fans everywhere were devastated. News traveled fast, almost live, as a plane was tracked, flying their new member to the club, but just vanished off of radar. 2 weeks later, in early February, Emiliano's body was recovered from the wreckage that was discovered at the bottom of the English Channel. He was visible from the wreckage. It was determined during the investigation that the accident was caused by the pilot's lack of experience in licensing. Mixed with the horrible weather and a shitty plane, it was the perfect potion. However, the autopsy detected high amounts of carbon monoxide in both David and Emiliano's blood. It's thought that during the flight, the gas crept through the air vents into the cabin and caused them both to pass out, the true cause of the crash. Mr. David Ibbotson was never found. The following months led to a nasty dispute between Cardiff and Nantes, Emiliano's former club. In an appeal with the Court of Arbitration for Sport by Nantes, they claimed that Cardiff refused to pay the late Emiliano's transfer fee. Yes, the record-breaking transfer fee. The court ruled that all obligations were done prior to Emiliano's death, so Cardiff was ordered to pay the transfer fee. Greedy fuckheads. They should have given all the money to his family, but you know how that goes. Around the same time, Emiliano's father died of a heart attack. And as if the Sala family hadn't suffered enough with tragedy after tragedy, 2 days later, after the death of his father, Emiliano's body was photographed in a morgue and leaked online. It went viral. It was determined that somebody broke into the morgue and took these photos. They were soon arrested and charged.